Hey there, how's it going? So as returning viewers may be able to tell, I am back at the Savoy Automobile Museum in Cartersville, Georgia. I am fortunate enough to live less than half an hour away from this place, and I just love coming here every few months because they swap out their exhibits, and you can come here, like I said, every few months and see a completely different set of cars. So enough dilly-dallying, let's get on inside and check this place out. So the last time we were here at the Savoy, we were greeted at the door by two different Batmobiles, the Adam West one and the Michael Keaton one. And now I know they have a Jaguar exhibit here, but they put these two cars right here at the door. This XJ220, which I've only seen one of these in a street version in my life, and it was actually here at the Savoy, and I think it might have been the same car at the Chattanooga Motor Car Festival. And then this Jag here, it was an XJR7, I think it is. But yeah, let's start with these two. So the first exhibit we're going to check out today is called Harvest to Highway, where we have a combination of companies that made both tractors and automobiles. Of course, I figured there'd be a Ford International. I don't know what this is, but it is wild. And then you have a Porsche and, yes, a Lambo back there, but I'm not going to show you that car right now. We'll get to that later. So this is the main reason why I wanted to come here this weekend. The world's first supercar, the Lamborghini Miura. Everybody knows the story of Ferruccio Lamborghini had a few Ferraris and he was having clutch issues, so he went to Old Man Ferrari and pleaded his case, and basically Ferrari told him to stick to making tractors. So he made the world's first supercar instead. Good on you, Ferruccio. So they have an entire exhibit called Small Block Muscle. All these old muscle cars with small block engines. They got a whole gallery of them. More in there. But I think we're going to start with this Scrambler. These things were always wild. So if you've watched any of my videos where a Mustang has appeared, you probably already know my love for the 69 and 70 models. These things are just stunning. Here's a 70 Boss 302. Let's check it out. So while this is a Mercury Comet, technically, I guess, it's also a Ford Maverick. But fun little story, when I was a kid, I've mentioned before, we used to race dirt track stock cars. And when we quit racing, we took the engine out of the car and put it in a Ford Maverick that was pretty much this same color. So I'm digging on this thing. Let's check it out. So we saw the two Jaguar racers as we came in the main entrance, and it's part of this larger exhibit here of more Jaguars, including this XKE, which old man Ferrari said was the most beautiful car ever made, at least allegedly. Who knows if he actually said it. I don't know, man. If you ask me, I like these older XKs better than the XKEs. But let's go over there and check that one out and see if it changes my mind. One thing I do want to start doing more of in the future is getting out to Road Atlanta and seeing cars like this perform. And I do know that sometimes they have vintage races there as well. I would love to check out a vintage race at Road Atlanta. So hopefully maybe next year when the season comes back around, we'll get out there more and start doing things. I guess stay tuned to find out. So in the final haul today, it is all Duesenbergs. Now, if you don't know what a Duesenberg is, it is a very, very high-end car from back in the day. In fact, if you were part of the well-to-do jet setters, high society back, say pre-Great Depression, pre-World War II, you didn't own a Lincoln, you didn't own a Cadillac, you owned a Duesenberg. And a lot of times, all you got was a chassis. And then you took it to a coach builder to have them do the body. So let's check out these beautiful American machines. about these old Duesenbergs is just how massive these headlights are on them. And some of them have multiple lights, and man, these things are stunning. And if you've ever heard, I guess depending on your age, if you're old like me, you've probably heard people say it. If you ever heard anyone call anything a doozy, you know, that thing's a doozy. Well, it comes from Duesenberg. So I mentioned before how you would buy just an engine and chassis and then have a third party make the bodies for your Duesenbergs from time to time. I mean, Duesenbergs did make complete cars as well, but also a lot of times you would have a third party make your body. And this is from a company called Murphy, who made this body. And this body is the town car style, where you would be back here in comfort, all nice and cozy and not exposed to the elements, while your driver was out here just exposed to whatever is going on. But check this out. This little communication device where you would speak to your chauffeur. It's just wild that people live like this. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here at the Savoy Automobile Museum in Cartersville, Georgia, here in the hall for the Duesenberg exhibit. And I'm lucky enough to only live like less than half an hour away from this place. This place truly is a world-class automobile museum right here in Cartersville. So if you're anywhere within a few hours of this place, I would highly suggest coming by if you call yourself a car person. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. Thanks for stopping by, checking out the video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you around next time. Later.